Just wanted to make kind of like a little bit of an introductory video to. Um, I'm going to put up a video about milling this intake runner plate. This is a Cummins 5.9, and this is that intake runner plate that I had made for it. The original thing was like a cast aluminum plate with one intake port right here, and then it came out of it. And what it would do is it had some issues with supplying, not supplying, let's call it airflow back into 5 and 6 cylinders, which 5 is here and 6 is way back here. And as you can see, the intake runner was closer to the front and less restrictive. So now what I have done is put in the two intake inlets. I split the intake manifold so that it would feed both of them. Now you will notice that this one is larger than the other one because this one still, I'm going to keep the grid heater in it, and I've kind of enlarged this port because of the restriction of the grid heater is going to cause. But there's two ports now, one towards the front, one towards the back, which should provide more volume and better airflow in the intake box. And I'm calling this the intake box. It's a casting on the side of the head. Now, if you really wanted to get great performance out of an old 12 valve, or even kind of the 6.7 Cummins is the same way, the 24 valves, they have this, let's call it the air box. If you want to get great performance out of it, you can cut this off and make a intake manifold that feeds each individual cylinder. A little complicated. You have some height issues, you have some tubing issues from the supply lines, but that's not what this video is about. This video was about when I originally made this plate. I kind of made it a little bit too wide and it interfered with the valve covers. So what I'm doing is this video is going to be about me milling this thing down a little bit so it wouldn't provide the interference with the valve covers. So I'll bring you back and start the video. I kind of figured I'd shoot a little bit of this. This is a plate that's going to go on top of the intake runner on the Cummins head. I've got a little interference on this side of it where the valve rocker arm covers go onto it. The side of the rocker arm cover and the gasket interfere with this, or this interferes with that, and I just got to take a little bit of it off. Now I could have probably sat it up in a vise in the vertical mill and ran it off with an end mill, but I had the machine set up for a splitting saw. I just put a smaller splitting saw on it, and I'm going to just run it down, take it off, and I'll show it to you. The feed rate on it is 1 3/8 inches a minute. You know what I'm going to do here is, looks like it's not really taking enough off of it. Let me back it up. What I'm going to do is just go in a little bit. Sorry if I I'm going to bump up the speed rate too. Put it up to 1 3/4 inches. Spindle speed's 125. I could probably increase the speed rate. As a matter of fact, let me do that. It's up to 208. Two and 3/4. Yeah, I like that. Got a nice finish going down on it. Probably notice what appears to be kind of a jerry-rigged hold-down clamp. I tried to put a regular hold-down clamp on it, and they're too thick. The nut would have hit the spindle. The clamp would have cleared, but the nut would have hit the spindle on it. So I just used the washer and used the 3/4 inch washer as kind of a spacer. To give it some extra support, so the washer, it wasn't on such of a steep angle down to the bed. idea what the hell that was. Never seen that happen before. Maybe the lead screw has got a little bit of a... There it goes again. Huh. Let me shut you off here for a minute. Put you on another angle on the other side of the bed. I have no idea what the bumping was caused by. I'll have to look into it. Once I get the piece up, I'll take it and hand crank it through its cycle to see why it did that. Okay, let me take the piece off. I'll bring it back.